Hey everybody, this video is called Genealogy Going East, and today we continue our pass-through study here in the book of First Chronicles, where we're going to be looking at the genealogy of the tribes that settled east of the Jordan River. So today I'm going to keep it short to the point, just read through the passage and wrap it up pretty much. But chapter 5 verse 1 through 10 says, "Now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, he was indeed the firstborn, but because he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel, so that the genealogy is not listed according to the birthright. Yet Judah prevailed over his brothers, and from him came a ruler, although the birthright was Joseph's. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, were Henoch, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Joel were Shemaiah his son, Gog his son, Shemaiah his son, Micah his son, Reah his son, and Baal his son. And Beriah his son, whom Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, carried into captivity, he was the leader of the Reubenites, and his brethren by their families. When the genealogy of the generations were registered, the chief Jael and Zechariah, and Bela the son of Azaz, the son of Shema, the son of Joel, who dwelt in Aroer as far as Nebo and Baal Meon. Eastward they settled as far as the entrance of the wilderness, this side of the river Euphrates, because their cattle had multiplied in the land of Gilead. Now in the days of Saul, they made war with the Hagrites, who fell by their hand, and they dwelt in their tents throughout the entire area east of Gilead." So we see here verses 1 through 10 speaking on the descendants of Reuben. And some might ask the question, if Reuben is the firstborn son, why is he not listed first? And it was answered that his sin here disqualified him from being the first among the sons of Israel. And in accordance to Jacob's blessing in Genesis chapter 49 verse 10, the king of Israel was to come from Judah. In this prophecy, it had a historical reference to the Davidic covenant found back in 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 1 and chapter 17 to come with full messianic implications. And in verse 6, Tiglath-Pileser, he was the king of Assyria between 745 and 727 BC. He threatened Judah, and he made Ahaz pay a tribute, as we saw just last month back in 2 Kings chapter 16. And we're also going to see later this summer in 2 Chronicles chapter 28. And in verse 10, we see the Hagarites. They were the tribe of nomad or Sinic Arabs, who were people who lived in tent without any fixed dwellings, and whose property consisted in cattle. And the descendants of Reuben, they destroyed the Hagarites. They seized their property and their tents, and they dwelt in their place. And verse 11 through 22 says, "And the children of Gad dwelt next to them in the land of Bashan as far as Salcah. Joel the son that was the chief, Shapham the next, and Zenai and Shaphat and Bashan, and their brethren of their father's house, Michael, Meshulam, Sheba, Joreh, Jachin, Zia, and Eber, 7 in all. These were the children of Abihail, the son of Huri, the son of Jeroah, the son of Gilead, the son of Michael, the son of Jeshishe, the son of Jadu, the son of Buz. Ahi, the son of Abidel, the son of Guni, was the chief of the father's house. And the Gadites dwelt in Gilead and Bashan, and in its villages, and all the common lands of Sharon within their borders. All these were registered by genealogies in the days of Jotham, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, king of Israel. The sons of Reuben, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh had 44,760 valiant men men able to bear shield and sword, to shoot with a bow, and skillful for war, and went to war. They made war with the Hagrites, Zeter, Naphish, Nodab, and they were helped against them, and the Hagrites were delivered into their hand, and all who were with them, for they cried out to God in the battle. He heeded their prayer because they put their trust in him. And notice in verse 20 that God heeded their prayer because they put their trust in him. When we pray, to make a side note of what we're going through, when we are praying, we need to have faith. We need to believe, that God is faithful. And so verse 21, it says, then they took away their livestock, 50,000 of their camels, 250,000 of their sheep, and 2,000 of their donkeys, and also 100,000 of their men. For many fell dead because the war was God's, and they dwelt in their place until the captivity. So verses 11 through 22, like I said, we're kind of just whipping through today's chapter because there's not as much meat or theology behind it. It's more of a historical sense. So we look here in verses 11 through 22 at the descendants of Gad, and we see that these men of Gad, they did what God had called them to do. They believed and trusted in the Lord in the midst of the battle. And because they trusted in the Lord and had faith in the Lord, they put their trust in the Lord in the midst of their battle. We see that God delivered them in the battle. And God's judgment came through unique wars. In verse 22, captivity, it speaks of the Assyrian deportation in 722. And so verse 23 through 26, the rest of today's chapter, it says, so the children of the half-tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. Their numbers increased from Bashan to Baal Hermon, that is, to Sinir, or Mount Hermon. These were the heads of their fathers' houses: Epher, Ishi, Eliel, Azriel, Jeremiah, Hodaviah, and Zadael. They were the mighty men of valor, famous men and heads of their fathers' houses. And they were unfaithful to the God of their fathers, and played the harlot after the gods of the people of the land, whom God had delivered before them. So the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Syria, that is Tiglath-Pileser, king of Syria. He carried the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh into captivity. He took them to Halah, Habor, Hara, and the river of Gozan to this day. So we see that the chapter here wraps up looking at the descendants of the eastern tribe of Manasseh. And these original settlers of the eastern tribe of Manasseh, they were godly and they were bold men. And despite their good start for the eastern tribe of Manasseh, this is how they ended up. We see that they were unfaithful to God. So to wrap up today, a quick 15-second or so wrap up, we look today at the tribes of Israel settling east of the Jordan River. And we see some good examples like the tribe of Gad versus the tribe of Manasseh, who were known as unfaithful. And may we aim to be like the tribe of Gad. May we aim to communicate with God our concerns and our prayers, and may we not just pray with doubt, but may we pray faithfully and believe that God is able, that if it's within the will of God, that God is going to do what he will do. So I hope you have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you again tomorrow night as we're going to continue in chapter 6, where we're going to be looking next at the genealogy of the tribes of Levi. So I hope you have a great rest of your night. God bless. We'll see you then.